Um, we've been in close contact with the victim, which is Corporal Ryan Durrett, with the Lubbock Police Department throughout this time, as well as the other officers involved, and as well as the defense attorney in the case, and just feel that this is in the best interest of all the parties involved. Corporal Ryan Durrett has been with the Lubbock Police Department for a long time. He is a very good officer, and he was serving and protecting the community that night. This was a call he was just responding to assist a motorist, which was the defendant, Jose Escarcega, in this case. He had a stranded vehicle and just stopped to serve and assist that defendant, just helping push his car out of the way that night. Was just being a good Samaritan, just to help in that duty as an officer on that night. When he ran the tags, when he got back in his car and ran the tags, he found that that vehicle was in fact stolen. And then when he went back to talk to the defendant, Escarcega, in the case, that's when he began to evade the officer, and it just escalated from there. And it ultimately in Officer Corporal Ryan Durrett being injured.
Has Corporal Durrett's reaction, when you informed him of what the deal was, was he satisfied with it?
He is. He's been very graceful in all of this. He wanted just the best interest for the case. He just trusted us, in doing what was best for the case, and was very supportive in this decision. Yes.
I felt from the beginning that when going over the case with my client and looking at all the discovery, which is voluminous in the case, I felt like there was no way in the world they could prove intentionally or knowingly. I think what they were going on was the reckless part of it. I know that my client, Mr. Escarcega, didn't mean for the officer to be hurt or to be injured in this incident. It was an unfortunate situation that he feels bad about, and that's why he took the plea he did today. My fear was that I think they could have got there on the recklessness part of it, and that the sentence could have been a lot more than it was. And we feel like this was a good result for both sides, and we think that it was a good resolution to the case. And Mr. Escarcega, after he was, you guys know, after he was arrested, he got beat up pretty bad, and that case has been recently dismissed in the case, and he's going to continue in federal court. He's going to continue to fight that case and to file whatever appeals that are necessary to get that taken care of. Because I think the actions of the LPD after the arrest was I think they were wrong, and so that needs to be addressed. But for the criminal side of it, he recognizes what he did wrong. He understands that the jury could have found him guilty of a reckless act, and because of that, we decided to take the plea. He'll have to serve at least 50% before he's eligible for parole, and it's my understanding that he intends to do that, rehabilitating himself, and hopefully when he gets out, he'll be a productive member of society.
Now, that's one of the problems that he's facing, though, is if he does parole in 10 years, is he not facing deportation?
He is facing deportation. These are things that I don't really want to discuss too much. I'm working with him, we're working with others to maybe see about doing something for that. I don't know that we're going to be able to, but we're certainly going to try.
And does Mr. Escarcega plan to reach out to Officer Durrett and apologize, or?
No, and there was no victim impact statement in the case. I know from talking to Mr. Escarcega that it wasn't his intent to injure him the way that it went down. It was a situation that escalated. In other words, he didn't wake up that morning and decide he was going to do this. It was an incident that kind of escalated to what it was, and he feels bad for it.